Today I'm going to share the story of how I went from people telling me I would never succeed with an indoor climbing channel to running one of the biggest climbing channels in the world. And you've heard this story in bits and pieces a few times. So this time I want to tell the full story. So let's start from the beginning. It was early 2015. 2 years before I started this channel, I had pitched the idea of an indoor climbing channel to my friends and the people in the climbing gym and professional filmmakers. And they all told me it would never succeed. An indoor climbing channel is nothing compared to outdoor climbing content. There's no story and there's no interest in it. But when I heard that, I could never agree with them. So it kept being in the back of my mind. And the reason I didn't start the channel back then, to prove them wrong, was that my biggest fear was to be in front of the camera. There's no photos and film of me as a kid. And I've never done anything creative. I've never done a story. I've never held a camera, more or less, never taken a photo, never filmed anything. So fast forward to 2015, I've been working at the climbing gym for 2 years, and I still didn't really know what I want to do with my life. I was injured, I just got dumped, and I was at a very low part of my life. So after 2 years of battling mentally with facing my fears and doing this thing that no one believes in, I started my YouTube channel. So I bought my first camera, I started to film myself climbing and my friends, and I uploaded my first video. Which have then taken 2 years. And however, the climbing community around me and around the world didn't enjoy my climbing videos. They actually hated it. Then they told me I should stop making indoor climbing videos because no one gives a shit about shitty indoor climbing videos, and that I would never succeed with this channel. So that was the first feedback I got on my channel. And then eventually Thor joined me from the first, I would say, successful video on my channel. It got a 1,000 views in a couple of weeks, and I was like, oh damn, there's actually some people that write in the comment section, there are actually some people that might actually enjoy it, because it wasn't too heavily disliked like my other videos. But now I wanted to make different content. I wanted to do training videos to help people become better climbers and keep themselves injured free. So I asked Peter and Sarah if they wanted to join me for a 3-part training series. And those videos to this day is the most viewed / successful videos I've ever done. I guess also they've been up for 3 years, so maybe that's why they have the most views as well. But nevertheless, they're doing really well. So then 4 months went past and I had 1K subscribers. And I've stopped doing climbing videos because I realized quickly that I couldn't film them in the way I wanted to. So I realized I had to invest heavily in new camera gear, buy a new lens, buy a new camera, and this was expensive and I didn't have that money. So I just stopped completely making videos because I felt like I wasn't true to myself if I just continued making videos in a way that I didn't enjoy. So now it's been 6 months since I started my channel, and the subscribers I've had have been writing in the comment section that this channel is dead and they shouldn't expect any content. And then I realized over the next few weeks that I'm back at my make it or break it moment. If I don't invest in the channel again, I'll never do it. Then I've lost the chance. So after a few hard weeks, I decided to spend all my savings on new camera gear, new everything, to make the vision I believed in. And I also told myself that I would do 1 video a day for a year to keep myself in check and deliver on my promise to myself. I started creating climbing videos every single day while working full time. So my days became 16 hours workday. So after a few weeks of uploading every day, people were still hating the channel, still hating the concept. People were still making fun of me both in the gym and outside the gym and on the internet. But after a month or so, I don't know, the hate kind of disappeared and then support came in. And I was kind of starting to get really excited, really excited, because this is something, I was by myself for 2 years. No one believed me, and I had the first true success. So the next few months we kept growing, and I started getting very nice messages. Some of the best messages I've ever gotten, still to this day. It was just families watching the climbing videos with their children as a morning routine every day. We should have stopped swearing then also, it would have been better, but it's hard. We're working on that. I also got messages from people that haven't climbed, that found the channel somehow and started climbing. And I got messages from people with depression that felt lonely and didn't feel they had a spot in this world. But through the climbing videos and uploading every single day, they had their friends, they had their community. And a lot of them didn't even climb, but eventually did start climbing. And from what I heard from their friends and close ones, is that they're now out of the depression and loving climbing, and just that's their biggest part in life. So when I got those messages, just I think that was the true point where I'm okay, I set out to do what I wanted to do. Now I just have to keep at it and get better. And one big reason why we were so successful in the beginning and the whole year was because Nicken and Thor and Noré and Daniel and Emil and Peter kept joining us for the videos that we did every single day. And without them, it wouldn't have been one video a day. I don't know how the channel would have existed without them. So 6 months after I started the YouTube channel, it was actually the biggest climbing media platform in the world in terms of views every month. And with that comes opportunities to create content and to collaboration with athletes. And that I was incredibly excited for. But since I was the only one in the world doing it, and the climbing gym or the climbing industry is very well known for taking advantage of filmmakers and photographers and athletes all alike, it was really hard to work in an industry like that. And obviously a lot of those guys also thought that I was doing ridiculous things and tried to sabotage projects for me. So that was a really hard time when you realize that, okay, so even people in the industry high up just doesn't understand and doesn't embrace indoor climbing to that extent and climbing content. So I just had to deal with that, and I still managed to do a few projects that year, like the Black Diamond project. I worked with Adam Ondra, and that for me was really fun, and it was highly successful. Yeah, so 6 months after those projects, I had been doing one video a day for a year. I've reached my ultimate goal, and I've done 365 videos, and I worked 2 full-time jobs to do it. One of the proudest moments of my life, for sure, and also the hardest thing I've ever done to this day. So after I've done one video a day, it was like 6 months left of the year, so I decided to quit K2, or the climbing gym, with the new goal in mind that I would change the way the industry looked at the YouTube climbing content and see if I could create a win-win for everyone involved. And I decided to start traveling the world and make collaborations. So I started talking budgets with companies, and when I gave them like a fair deal in terms of pricing, which I thought was a fair deal back then, it wasn't very fair. It was super cheap for them. They still didn't want to pay me for it, and it got really frustrating, and I had very little money left. But I had that goal, and I was sticking with it. So a few companies work with me: Blockout in Paris, First Ascent in Chicago, and the Arch in London. Those companies are really great companies. They understood the marketing. They understood that we could create really cool things together that would benefit everyone. To some extent I did reach that goal, but it cost me a lot. Like, I still worked 16 hours a day, and it was more stressful than ever, and kind of nearly broke me both physically and mentally. So it was then when I decided to start my own company, and I was psyched. So then Emil joined me in early 2018, starting Psyched. And this was also like a very big challenge, which I again underestimated, and we spent so many months trying to find the right designs, the right material, the right companies to work with, and it was incredibly stressful, and both Emil and me worked incredibly hard. But eventually we did launch, and the company became a huge success, and it's definitely one of, I guess, in the top 3 range of the proudest things I've done, and I think I can speak for Emil as well that he agrees with me. And it's also, I think, just behind as hard as doing one video a day. So we did that for 6 months, and then the summer came, and I just realized that I have not taken a break in over 2 years' time, and I was getting close to burning out. So I was laying in Colorado and in the snow and looking up through the sky and the boulders that Emil and everyone else was climbing on, and I realized that I had given up everything during these last 2 years in the pursuit of my dream. I had stopped climbing, I've stopped hanging out with friends because I simply didn't have time, I've neglected relationships and my own health. So then I decided that I would take a break, a long break during the summer for 2 months to try and find myself and, see if I could find back to friendships and health and climbing. So I just did that. I spent the entire summer doing that, and I think it was one of the best summers of my life. So then autumn's come back, I got more opportunities to work again, and this time I told me I was going to take it in a controlled way. And I did in the beginning, but then I just got right back into my old habits, and I just worked way too much. I gave up climbing again, and it made me really think about what I was doing in life and how I should move forward. And I felt like I've never given this channel 100% of my effort. The first year I worked full-time on another job. The second year I traveled away too much to prove an industry wrong. The third year I built another company that I sacrificed the channel for to make. So this year is going to be a big change to the YouTube channel. It's the first time I will ever put 100% into this. So that's the story that I have not told many people. And for me, it was a perfect timing of the 100,000 video to drop this. And as I mentioned in the end of this video, I felt like I never, took the time to this channel. Like, I worked hard, but I've not put my mind only into this channel. And that's what I want to do this year. I want to become a better storyteller. I want to keep improving the climbing content and provide you guys with all the best things I can do. I've done 600 videos now, and I've spent around 9,000 hours. And this channel was never about the money. It's never been, and it never will be. But it's also not sustainable. I've been going at this for 3 years, and it hasn't really changed so much financially. I've been living on €700 a month for 3 years, and that's it's not optimal, to say the least. And I know we have been talking about the Patreon in the past, and I never felt like I wanted to start it because I didn't generally had a plan, or I didn't feel I had it in me to commit to it. But this year I feel like I want to do it. I feel like I want to make you guys proud, and I want to make the best climbing content that we can do, and I want to do it together. So I'm incredibly excited to start a Patreon. So for you guys that doesn't know what a Patreon is, it's a platform where you as community and followers can contribute with money to me each month, so I can continue making the best videos I can do, and they take as minimum money as possible with the transfer of the money. So I know so many people, like for example Bouldering Bobat, they use it and they're really happy with the service, and I'm just really happy to be able to join them in it as well. So if you can't subscribe to me, or if you feel like you want to subscribe to both of us, I would highly recommend to subscribe to Bouldering Bobat as well, because they deserve all the support and contribute as well, because they make really good content. So you'll find the link in the description below, where I'll talk about all the things you will access in the Patreon. But I can tell you a few things right here, right now. So I'm bringing back the training series. It's been away for 3 years, but now it's finally back. By also contributing, you'll get an extra training video that will only exist on Patreon. I will also do a climbing series that will only exist on Patreon. It could be any adventures. It could be you guys want to see something in Tokyo. We'll travel to Tokyo and film some badass area there. If you guys want to see outdoor climbing from Magic Wood, then we can go and do that. So the Patreon for me is just build this community even more and do something really cool together. And I'm really proud of starting Patreon, because it's been in my mind for a long time. And yeah, I'm just really excited. And I want to end this video on this final note. If you're thinking of starting anything, or if you feel like you can't succeed or will not succeed, or people telling you won't succeed, don't listen to those people. Don't give up. Because if I've done that, this channel would have never existed. And wouldn't have been sitting here. I just want to wish you all the best, and I'll see you guys soon.